When you're on a trail that long, you don't really think about how long is it going to take me to get to somewhere or how fast am I going. You're thinking about don't get yourself hurt. My name is Karl and I am an ultramarathoner.
We did 36 miles today.
Yeah, it was a pretty weak day, but no one's ever been this far in 10 days.
I just recently broke the Appalachian Trail record from Maine to Georgia. It's 2,189 miles, and I completed that in 45 days, 22 hours and 38 minutes, beating the previous record by just a little under 10 hours. Total mileage average per day for that 46 days will be 47.6. The AT is not a walk in the park. It's a hard trail.
And every time I grip my foot and it goes forward, it totally stresses my leg. I scream in pain.
You really have to have a team. It's not just the one guy running.
Just a couple peanut butter and jelly?
It's really the crew who, if they're not perfect for you, then it really won't be successful. I think the Appalachian Trail, not only is it very popular and iconic, but it's also very difficult.
Now it's all downhill and easy.
I am concentrating on my foot placement all the time, so 2 hours goes by like nothing, just because I'm zoned out. I slammed my head into the ground a number of times, and it beats you down. You have to expect that. But you can beat it too, as long as you just keep persevering and fighting through the issues that you're going to have. The last day I ran 85 miles. My body was so amped and ready to be done that it didn't matter really how far it was. I felt the same at mile 80 as I did at mile 10. You're just numb at that point, really.
This is where all the fun is.
It's important for people to know that the AT is a special place and it should be protected. It's a trail for one who wants to gain fellowship with nature. No matter whether you're running it, whether you're walking it, whether you're taking 10 years to do it, when you walk that trail, you have a vibe and you feel it. Every year, someone else's gets a little bit faster. Someone will break my record for sure. It might come this year, I don't know. I'm still going to be happy because I gave it everything I had. You know, I think that's what's important.
I think Laz is crazy, but in a very good way.
I think he's very smart. I think he knows what he's doing.
People think he's a sadist or whatever.
He's like my trail soulmate.
Flair for the dramatic, I think.
Bit of a sassy man.
Laz Cantrell, a true backwoods rebel of Tennessee, created one of the world's most grueling foot races. One that is so challenging, it leads many to assume it must be an act of sadism.
Are you a sadist?
No. I think people are obsessed with comfort to the point that they forget. And if you don't have any discomfort in your life, how do you know when you feel good? The Barkley Marathons is a 100-mile race comprised of 5 20-mile loops that you have 60 hours to complete. It's over some pretty rugged terrain. It's got a massive amount of climb, about 66,000 feet. You have just your map and compass. It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, you're alone. The fact that they'll probably almost certainly fail makes it more appealing. It started in '85 and we've had 14 finishers.
Are y'all about ready?
You start the race with a cigarette light, which feels very untraditional for most race starts.
Yeah, we always use a Camel because that's about the best cigarette, I think.
AT, go for it.
The course is located in Frozen Head State Park, home to the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, a location not chosen by chance. In 1977, James Earl Ray, the man who killed Martin Luther King Jr., made headlines again when he escaped the prison. In the 54 hours he was free, he only made it 8 miles from his cell. Because this terrain is no joke.
Dawned on us that, man, you could put together a race course that would really challenge people's soul. I think every runner would like to do better than James Earl Ray and get further than 8 miles, although some of them don't. Everybody gets a bib number for each loop. There's paperback books which are kind of strategically placed so that to get them all you have to follow the course. And you pull out the page number that matches your bib. You have to turn in your pages to show that you've done the course.
He has a brilliant sense of humor. He's parodying the sport of ultramarathon running. Those of us who run ultras, we have a certain egoism that we think we're pretty good because of what we can do. And so he set out to puncture that balloon. Laz keeps making it harder because he's trying to put it at the limit of human possibility.
After they decided that they've had enough and quit, we play taps on the bugle, both because taps is what you play for someone who's died in action and because they're being tapped out.
I think genuinely in his heart, he wants to see people succeed. When people actually finish 5 loops and you see him at the end, he's so excited.
When and if one or more of them comes in, it's an inspiring thing. It's hard to believe a human can accomplish that. It's good that some years no one finishes, because the Barkley should win sometimes too.
When I'm running backwards, it almost feels like I'm flying because it's such a different visual perspective seeing how far I've gone as opposed to how far I need to go. When you're going backwards, you can really just take a step back, literally, and enjoy what you're doing.
Hi, I'm Aaron Yoder. I'm a backwards runner.
I have the world record for the fastest mile ran backwards. My fastest backwards mile time is 5 minutes and 54 seconds. I've been running forward for over 20 years. I started running competitively when I was in elementary school and then ran on scholarship during my early 20s. I ran so much that I sustained a knee injury. My doctor told me to stop running and I really didn't want to stop, so I knew I had to make some sort of change. Retro running or backwards running is where you're literally just running in reverse and there's no impact on my knee. I run backwards everywhere. I run backwards on the treadmill, I run backwards on the track, and also out on country roads. Backwards running feels great on my knee. I don't feel anything, which is a reason why I really enjoy it.
Stay tall, knee up. There we go. Good job. Go.
When I'm coaching my track team, I occasionally have them run backwards as to enhance and diversify their training workouts. Onward and upward. Good job. Way to go. Good warm up there. There's more backwards runners out there than one would think. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that decide to run in reverse. The last World Championships, there were over 20 countries represented and close to 200 athletes. Backwards running has allowed me to see things in a little bit different perspective. In a world where everyone goes forward and I'm going backwards, it's really allowed me to just get back to competing against myself and not be so concerned what other people are doing. I found great gratification in the fact that I'm just competing against my own shadow.
People think fat people never get off the couch. And people think that fat people sit around eating all day. My mission is to challenge people's assumptions about fat people. I'm Myrna Valerio, and I'm a runner. I've been running long distance for about 8 years. I've done 9 marathons and 10 ultramarathons, with my longest being 100K. Traditionally, trail races and other outdoor events have not always been welcoming to people like me. I'm Black, I'm a woman, and I'm fat. When I go to a race, I know I'm breaking the mold. It's still very white and very male. So I know going in that I'm going to be different. Right, put that in a bowl. 10 years ago, I lived a very stressful life, and so that took a huge toll on my health. I consulted with a doctor who told me that I needed to change my lifestyle pretty drastically if I wanted to see my son grow up. So I did. I'd had some experiences with people always making the assumption that whatever I was doing, it was for weight loss. After a couple of years, it was not a weight loss thing anymore. It's about fitness. Running makes me feel like my most human self. My first mile was pretty awful. It was painful, it was slow. When I'm feeling like this is really too difficult, I know that in the end, I'm doing it for a reason. There's always a larger reason. The end goal not always only being to finish, but the more important thing is that I'm out there, because sometimes I come in last. It's amazing to me how many messages I get on a daily basis saying, thank you for being you. Thank you for living in your own space and taking up space and not being afraid to do that, because that has allowed me to do that. I'm going to continue doing it because I think people still need to see me.
I'm not sick when I run. Like I'm just so normal. You wouldn't think someone who goes unconscious like 14 times a day runs. Like you just wouldn't put it that way. My name is Katie Cook. I'm 20 years old. I live in Dublin, Ireland, and I love running. I was diagnosed with 2 types of epilepsy when I was 9 years old, one of which is frontal lobe epilepsy. So at the moment I have 14 seizures in a 24-hour period. They used to be 16, 17, so we're coming down slightly, which is woo. You okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. I was getting really bad dizziness from my medicine. So I went into the hospital and they loaded me, which is a term for epileptics when you're going on like a new medicine, and I didn't wake up until 6 days later. I was immobile for about the guts of 2 years. I moved from being in a wheelchair to being in a Zimmer frame. When I gradually started getting back into running, it kind of gave me this newfound energy. I don't know why. I put on my running boots and started running. I feel like it's so cliched, but you kind of feel like on top of the world, that you could do anything. Like I don't feel sick anymore until I have a seizure, obviously. And I'm like, damn it.
You alright?
It's an amazing feeling, like all the endorphins like pulsing through your body, and it's great. Like it's honestly like amazing. I train alone for most of my runs like during the week. However, I do have a pal for my races, like official races, which is Dr. Karl.
So I have 2 roles. So first of all, I'm her doctor. The other role I play, which is to be her partner in running. My job is to make sure that when Katie has a seizure, if she's running, that nobody carts her off the course. Oh, Katie's having a seizure. So before I knew Katie, she would run races, and if they were in public, people would, you know, quite reasonably insist that she be carried off the course, much to her displeasure. So my job is to say no, announce that I am her doctor and that she's fine and she'll recover, and then she gets up and she runs.
I don't let anything really get in the way of living life at all. I just don't think it's the way to go. I suppose, yeah, I don't let epilepsy get in the way at all.